So I'll tell you what. Technically, that interview was a disaster because about halfway through we couldn't hear Trey.
Yeah.
But he said enough, and we heard enough for me to think like Mac Jones must be something else. He must be something else in an interview over Zoom. He must be something else on a whiteboard, because I don't know how you look at the player that Trey Lance showed himself to be at North Dakota State, the production that he had in 2019 in particular. Dude won both the Walter Payton and Jerry Rice Award in 2019. Did not throw a pick. If it wouldn't have been having technical difficulties, I'd have been like, yo, man, how you go a whole season without throwing an interception? Just, first of all, where they do that at? You know, did not throw a pick. How you're built like him, but also have the foundation that he clearly has, is as impressive as he is. You could just feel it. Like, you and I have interviewed a lot of people, man. We've interviewed a lot of people. We talked to a lot of people. A lot of guys present well, but he clearly has it. So how you have it, have all the tools, and how somebody decides to pass on him, I mean, Mac Jones must really be that dude if the Niners are not going to take Trey Lance, or Justin Fields for that matter. But I mean, I don't know how you can talk to Trey Lance for 5 minutes, which is about how long we could hear him, and not come away impressed.
Yeah, very, very impressive. Very impressive young man, Mike. And I was thinking the same thing, that it's difficult. Like, this is also what makes the draft process hard, because you can fall in love with the guy, his ability to diagnose and to explain what's happening with the offense or defense, the way he just presents himself, but then that might not be the right fit. And the inverse can be true too, where, you know, the guy doesn't really, there's some guys who don't express themselves that well, but they can go out, they can ball out, and they're great teammates. So that makes it very difficult. I'll say this about Mac Jones. Doesn't necessarily have to be either or with Jones. That I hear a lot of people saying this about him. This is not necessarily my knock on him. Well, what are you supposed to do with all that talent at Alabama? You know, they got first-rounders. They got 2 great receivers. They got first-round receivers. They got a first-round running back. Got people on the O-line and D-line. They're going to be playing in the NFL. We're going to hear Alabama called a lot on not just the first day of the draft, but all 3 days. Alabama's, that name is going to pop up. So it's not just that, hey, Mac Jones is playing with talented people, therefore he looks good. Both things could be true. He could have first-round talent around him, and he also can be a first-round talent himself. I just look at him and say, he's a good quarterback. I'm not sure he is the 3rd best quarterback in this draft, where that's where he's going to be drafted, as the 3rd best.
Yeah, but
he
Michael,
can still be
respectfully, respectfully. I know this is what we do. I know this is what we do.
Don't say that. Don't say respectfully. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be respectful.
Don't be respectful. No, I respect your opinion. No, I respect your opinion. I don't want you to be respectful,
especially after what you're about to say.
I can respect your opinion. I can respect your opinion and still say you're out of pocket. And this, but what I'm about to say ain't sexy. What I'm about to say doesn't go on a headline on YouTube.
Tell me why.
Okay, what I'm about to say ain't the clip that they. What I'm about to say ain't the clip that they cut and share, because it ain't sexy. All right. You don't know, and I don't know. You don't know what Mac Jones is. You don't know what you're looking at when you look at Mac Jones. You can't. You sit up here and saying unequivocally, with conviction, I commend you for your conviction, and with passion, oh, Mac Jones ain't worth going up to the 3rd pick for, or Mac Jones ain't worth. How do you know?
Player?
You don't know. You don't know.
Mike.
How do you know? Enlighten me. How do you know? And if you do know, why are you sitting there with me?
Hey, let me ask you this. If I don't know, guess who else doesn't know? John Lynch. Kyle Shanahan.
Correct.
It's all opinion. It's
Correct.
subjective.
Correct.
It's subjective.
100%.
So
now you're talking.
I'm representing the only person I can represent in this conversation is Michael Holley. So I am comfortable and confident in saying I think they missed. Now we'll find out down the road.
But where does that confidence come from? But do me a favor. Where does that confidence come from?
I don't know. My time on Earth watching football. It's football, Mike. Don't be like that. Don't be like.
Okay.
Don't be one. Don't be one of those guys. Don't be one of those guys.
Which guys? That knows what he doesn't know? That knows what he doesn't know?
Don't turn this into some MIT classroom where you got to have a special skill set to understand what you're watching on the field. Don't do that. There are a lot of people in the NFL who do that. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. Come on, Mike.
I'm not in the NFL, and I can be one of them. And this is why I preface it by saying respectfully, because I don't. Because don't. No, I'm not going to stop. What I'm trying to say to you is this, Michael.
I don't want you to stop.
Both of us have put a
go. I want you to go.
Both of us have put a fraction.
And I want you to go.
Okay, right. Both of us have put a fraction of the time into studying these guys that these teams have. You can roll your eyes all you want. And like I said, this ain't sexy, but it's real. Okay? We put a fraction of the time into it. It doesn't mean that they don't get it wrong. We put the stats on the board about how many times they get it wrong. But for you to sit up here and say, Mac Jones going to be a bust, like you know it for sure, you don't know.
I didn't say it was going to be a bust.
You don't know.
I didn't say it was going to be a bust. You said that.
You may not have used the word bust. You said failure. Okay, I'm sorry. Failure.
I said this was
Would you like me to have the court play it back for you? You said it would be a failure.
You kept saying that. You saying that. You're projecting. You're trying to tell me what I'm saying.
You said failure. I'm not projecting. I disagree. You said failure. Unlike you, I listen to what you're saying. You said failure. You're trying to take me somewhere I didn't want to go. You're trying to take me somewhere that I never went. I never said he was going to be a bust. I said they didn't have to spend that much. I didn't say don't draft Mac Jones. I'm saying don't mortgage your future for Mac Jones. That's what I said. Hey, Gary, do me a favor. All right,
cool. 12.
We up against the clock?
That's what I said.
Hey, Gary, do me a favor. Here's your assignment for tonight, Gary.
Though?
You did say that as well. You did say that as well. Okay? Do me a favor, Gary. Clip off from today that Michael Holley said, along with Jason Johnson, said that this is going to be a failure, that he was going to fail. You may not have used the B word, but you used every other word to describe a bust. Mike, you said it was going to be a failure, and you said they overpaid.
When I'm right in 4 years or 3 years. Let me ask you a question. When I'm right in 3 years.
What if he's Matt Ryan?
Well, let me ask you the question first. If I'm right in 3 years, will you give me credit, or will that just be like luck?
No, I won't give you credit.